President Kyagulanyi yatugamba nti mujja kukiwulira kati nno olwaleero Palamenti yayisizza omusolo omulala mubadde mukyali kubiri nga mukyaka banaguli ogubaddewo kati yayisizza omusolo omulala ku mafuta ag'ebidduka yayongeddeko omusolo omunene ddala amazzi aganywa mineral water yayongeddeko omusolo omunene ddala seminti azimbisibwa yayongeddeko omusolo omulala nga g'amafuta g'ettaala badde bagateeko omusolo gwa nnusu bisatu buli liita nayo gugwo gugaaniddwa kati mwadde bavuga ebidduka byammwe munoza muli bakabi nnyo nga tebakwatako mugenda kukiwulira omusolo bagongeza ku mafuta obadde onywa liita 5 kati ogenda kunywawo 10 gwe naawe omuzimbi azimba nawe atannazimba ebyokuzimba bigenda kukalubamu kuba seminti kati naye agenda kwongezebwa ebbeeyi bamwongeddeko omusolo omuyitirivu naawe abadde anyumirwa okunywa amazzi okuba omulamu waliwo ebisesa mu gavumenti ya Museveni mufo gy'okuba amazzi ogafuula aga layisi abantu bangi baganywe bafunemu omusolo mungi bagafuula aga bbeeyi batono baganywe mbu bafunemu omusolo n'otunuulira embada bwe tebalowoozezza mbu abantu abeetaaga amazzi okuba abalamu aga mineral water bagongeze ebbeeyi mbu muganywe bangi ntegeera y'abano kale bye biri mu Palamenti omusolo ogwongezeddwa katugendeyo tulabe embeera nga bw'etambula.
Madam Speaker and honorable members, the motion has been moved by the minister. I want to register my opposition to this motion. Madam Speaker, let me start with what the Auditor General said. The Auditor General, the Auditor General now, maybe the Auditor General, Madam Speaker, and I don't know if government ministers read the rules. The rules don't allow walking as if you are in a kiraro all the time, invading the speaker, because we need the attention of the speaker. Madam Speaker,
Honorable Assembly, you have my attention. And I can repeat all what you have said. May I do multitasking?
Yeah, Madam, I was addressing the ministers because for you are stating.
Okay, can you continue with the opposition?
But they keep walking there. Madam Speaker, I want to start with the report of the Auditor General. The Auditor General, in his latest report, mainly on page 19 to 24, he speaks about supplementary requests. And this is what he said. I want to quote him. Continued approval of supplementary budgets without a corresponding increase in revenue financing could be attributed to fiscal indiscipline, which leads to increased funding gap affecting the area budget objectives. So the Auditor General reports, and I will use the year 2020 to 2023 because his report is on that year. For example, that in that financial year, with supplementary included, the total budget was 52.5 trillion. That's the total budget that you Parliament approved with the supplementary. But there was only 43 trillion. That is the financing that was realized at the end of the financial year. You first approved the budget of 48 trillion. Then you had 4.4 trillion in supplementary, making the total budget 52 trillion. But the financing available, money from taxes and borrowing, was actually 43 trillion. What the Auditor General is warning this Parliament against is that each time you pass a supplementary here, you give license to Honorable Musasizi and his group to remove money from items you have approved and use it on their new priorities. That's what the Auditor General is saying. That's point number one. So approve this supplementary knowing that the money you approved earlier, first of all, the funding itself will not be realized because by the end of the third quarter for this financial year, URA had collected just about 20 trillion out of a 29 trillion target. If they work so hard, maybe they will make them 23. So what the Honorable Musasizi will do is to remove money from and then fund his new priorities. That's what will happen. So the second point, Madam Speaker, the budgeting through supplementary, which the Auditor General calls fiscal indiscipline, people are running this country like a kiosk. That every week, because last week we passed a supplementary here, what has happened in the last 10 days that you did not know that there will be a need to construct a stadium? There will be a need to acquire equity in the pipeline? Because you brought a supplementary just 10 days ago, we passed it here. Now you come trafficking another one. One time the late Speaker Okulwanyisa said if he was in charge, he would have sacked all the ministers. Maybe for me, I would even send them to Luzira. 10 days ago, you brought a supplementary here. Now, after 10 days, you come running. Oh, wait, there is another one here. And you are my ministers. Each one of you will be in Luzira. That's where the warrant of detention will find you. So therefore, Madam Speaker.
Yes.
I want finally to go back to the law. The lawyers can help. If you go to section 76 of the public finance that categorizes items for which you can seek a supplementary funding. And section 25, 6 and 7 as unforeseeable and unavoidable. I want the planners in the ministry to tell me, when did you win the bid to host AFCON for you not to have factored the money of AFCON in the budget? And what is it going to happen between now? Because this budget that we are going to pass today, hopefully, is a budget that are going to implement in a period of 1 month. So what is it that you cannot wait, that is so urgent that you must fix it in a supplementary? So can I, Madam Speaker, I said I want to register my opposition to this motion, and those are the reasons. And these ministers, because you're also ministers of Uganda, these mistakes you make today, when this government has gone, one by one, you should walk to Luzira. We'll find you there. Thank you very much, Madam.
Honorable government legal advisor.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I'll speak to the issue of ECOP. The issue of ECOP was actually unforeseeable because, as you all know, the financing model for ECOP was clearly to be done by our partners. Unfortunately, because of the change in the world order and economic setting, we have been required to put in equity. It was not known to us at the time we passed the past budget. On AFCON, the biggest requirement is actually a complication coming from my office. The contracts are available for me to sign, and I'm requiring the Minister of Education to show me the source of fund before that contract can be signed. If Parliament is happy to wait until next financial year, the problem is we will lose timelines in as far as the deadlines to meet that. Unfortunately for me, the law doesn't allow me to approve a contract for signing without knowing the source of fund. So those are some of the reasons why we are here at this time.
Thank you.
Maybe just to add that, Honorable Semuju.
Honorable Attorney General, maybe as one of the prerequisites of us hosting AFCON was that we had to win CHAN. We had to win CHAN, which CHAN we just won last Friday. So now that we have CHAN, then we shall have AFCON.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for your support and addition. As I conclude, I just wanted to...
I am not debating, but I own a club in my school, which is one of the best clubs that is even representing the country in China.
But also, as I leave the floor, Honorable Semuju, the threat to send us to Luzira without trial is a bit unconstitutional. Just advising.
Honorable members, I want to thank you so much. This is a very simple supplementary, which everybody understands. And I'm happy the person is thinking Sechi. One is a beneficiary, one is Honorable members, I put a question at the motion that the House resolves itself into a committee of supply to consider the supplementary schedule number 3 for the financial year 2023-2024 pursuant to Article 1562 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and Section 25 of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 and Rule 153 of the Rules of Procedure. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 166, National Council of Sports.
I put a question that the sum of Uganda shillings 152 billion be provided to vote 166 National Council of Sports as development expenditure and a supplementary expenditure Schedule 3 for financial year 2023-2024. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 151, Uganda Blood Transfusion Services.
I put a question that the sum of 2,500,000,000 shillings be provided for Vote 151, Uganda Blood Transfusion Services as a recurrent non-wage expenditure under the supplementary expenditure Schedule 3 for financial year 2023-2024. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 514, Embassy, Uganda Embassy in Geneva.
I put a question that the sum of 1,490,000,000 shillings be provided for under vote 514, Uganda Embassy in Geneva as a recurrent non-wage expenditure under supplementary expenditure schedule number 03 for financial year 2023-2024. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Total.
I put a question that a grand total of Uganda shillings 288,624,000,000 be provided for as a supplementary expenditure schedule number 003 for financial year 2023-2024. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for resumption of the House.
Minister.
Madam Chair, I beg to move a motion that the House do resume and the Committee of Supply reports thereto.
I put a question that the House resumes and the Committee of the Supply reports thereto. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of Supply.
Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of Supply has considered the supplementary expenditure for financial year 2023-2024, schedule number 3, and totaling to Uganda shillings 288,624,000,000.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of Supply.
Madam Speaker and honorable colleagues, I beg to move a motion that the report from the Committee of Supply be adopted.
I put a question that the report of the Committee of Supply be adopted by this House. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Item 4, Bill second reading, the Excise Duty Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable Chair, honorable members, remember we stood over this bill and we at committee stage. Honorable members, I put a question that the Honorable members, I put a question that the Exercise Duty Amendment Bill 2024 be read for the second time. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
The Excise Duty Amendment Bill 2024, Bills Committee stage.
Yes,
Madam Chair.
Minister of Finance.
Maybe just to remind,
Shadow.
just to remind colleagues with your permission.
Honorable members, listen to Honorable Semuju.
Just to remind colleagues with your permission, Madam Speaker. When we handled the tax bills, this one remained. And our issue, especially from this side, to which now I speak for, we reject increment of taxes, 100 on petroleum and 100 on diesel. Because if I do a recap, we are correcting 141,450.
That is under clause what?
That's why I was seeking your permission. We will come to that, Madam Speaker. It was not ordinary, but I thought you were around.
What I was saying, we are now in which clause?
We hadn't started. That's why I'm taking advantage with your permission to remind at least my side. So the one that is here to vote, they don't need to be reminded.
Honorable, why don't we move clause by clause? When we reach that clause, you raise that issue. Clause 1.
Clause 1.
Shadow. Clause 1. I put a question that clause 1 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
Clause 2. Masaba.
Sure, clause 2 is okay. Let's proceed.
I put a question that clause 2 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. I put a question that clause 2 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 3.
Chair.
Honorable Chair, we are amending clause 3, amendment of schedule 2 to the Principal Act. Clause 3 is amended. A, in paragraph A, item 1. In item D, by substituting 12% with 10%. And 2, in item E, by substituting 12% with 10%. And B, in paragraph C, Right Honorable Chair, by deleting item A. 2, item B, by substituting shillings 5,000 with 2,500. And in item 3, in item C2, by substituting 100% with 80% and shillings 5,000 with 1,700. C, in paragraph E, item 1 and item B, by substituting 12 with 10%. 2, in item D, by substituting 12% with 10%. D, in paragraph F, in item 6, by substituting shillings 75 with 50. E, in paragraph H, by deleting item E. Honorable Chair and colleagues, justification is to reduce the cost of opaque beer and any other alcoholic beverage in order to increase the tax base and also to make motor more affordable. And illuminating kerosene should not be exorbitantly taxed since it's being used to the low-income earners. I beg to submit, Honorable Chair.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, my proposal is on G, which is cement, adhesives, grout, and white cement. My proposal is not to impose this tax, and have this G deleted. I also propose that GA, which is on withdraw payment services to do with digital withdrawal of money, I propose that GA be deleted. I also propose, Madam Speaker, that we delete H, all of it. No 100 shilling on petroleum, 100 on diesel, and then the whole of kerosene should go away. Right, Honorable Speaker, those are my proposals, and I invite Parliament to.
Martin?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I understand the bill is intended to reduce on taxes. Right Honorable Speaker.
To reduce or increase on taxes? You're saying that you don't have a road to Buzaya. The hospitals are not there. So you want Akibwa, you need where, but what the people, what this is intended to do is to raise money to finance all those things that we are doing. So what Honorable Semuju is saying, that much as we accept some, let's not accept others. So we are also going to hear from this side. Honorable Semuju has presented, and that is that.
Thank you, Chair.
There's a procedural matter.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My concern is that the Honorable Shadow Minister of Finance is saying we delete this, but then they are not providing alternatives. Because by the time the government brings a proposal, it anticipates correct money to support the budget that we're going to pass today. So as a Minister of Finance alternate, don't you think it will be prudent or procedurally right that when you say we delete, for example, the withdrawal charge, the 5% withdrawal charge, which we anticipate the government is going to collect 100 billion, don't you think it's also procedurally right that you bring an alternative where government can collect this 100 billion to cover the gap that you'd want to be deleted? Madam Chair, please guide.
Honorable members, one thing I want you to know, this is an engine of revenue collection to fund whatever you want as a country. So when you're bringing in a deletion, bring an alternative and say, if we're deleting here, let's replace this by increasing the tax base. Yes.
Thank you very much, Chair. On top of what my colleague, Honorable Semuju, proposed, I think he left out one item, which is deleting item F, which concerns mineral water, because this will lead to an increment on the price of mineral water, majorly those who sell water in bulk, the 20 liters, the 20-liter canisters. So I'm proposing—
Pardon?
Chair, on top of what Honorable Semuju suggested, I do suggest we delete part F on mineral water, because it's going to make the cost of mineral water, those who sell usually the 20-liter, the bulk water, is going to become quite expensive. That is the target of this amendment. And then on the proposals of fuel, because Chair, the committee agreed, and we were together with this, we were with the committee on this, to reject the increment on kerosene. I think that is
That's
okay.
deleted.
Yes. On our proposal to remove the 100 shillings on motor spirit, and that is gas and diesel, I do propose an amendment in section 8C of the Principal Act to increase item 8F of the Principal Act to increase Jet A and aviation fuel by 100 shillings instead of increasing on our petrol.
But Madam Speaker, if you allow me to answer directly, my colleague. First of all, we have a appropriation that is coming next. In the budget, there are many things that we are proposing when we reach that stage to remove from the budget. A lot of wastage. This particular proposal is going to give you just 200 billion shilling. You can reduce that budget by 6 trillion. Useless things like special drinks and eats. So there are many things in the budget that we will propose to remove. Actually, we are going to make a lot of more money available. So you don't need this 200 billion shilling.
Honorable members, let's not anticipate. We are debating in anticipation. Yes, Kampala Central. Search, you will come.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, last financial year, when we tried to make proposals for increment of taxes on fuel, they were thwarted by the Ministry of Finance. And this was their reason. They said that when you increase the price of fuel, it will lead to inflation. And I would like to hold the Honorable Musasi accountable on this matter, last financial year. And the reason we were mooting then was that if we increased this levy on fuel, it would be translated, if we're ring-fenced, on improvement on the budget of infrastructure directly. And I was imploring this House that what we had interacted with the voters or with the people was that they were not worried about necessarily increment on the levy of fuel. The issue is how we use it after. If it is not translated into their own infrastructure, then they are disinterested as one of the priorities. So Ugandans are not saying no to taxes. They are only saying to where is our money that we contribute in form of taxes. So that's why I was asking the Honorable Minister of Finance, even if you are to use the numbers to take this matter that 100 shillings and raise, let's say, 300 billion, is it going to be put directly on their infrastructure, or it's going to be put to wishful expenditure of donations, this and this, this and this? That is the issue Ugandans are talking about. Because whether we want it or not, Right Honorable Speaker, last financial year, around this time, the cost of a liter of fuel, let's say petrol, was at about 4,300 something. Today it's at about 5,000 something. So whether we put in the factorization of exchange rate, etc., the price of fuel has increased. Now, the promise of government was that when we come in to become the sole buyers on behalf of Ugandans and sole importer on behalf of Ugandans, and we do away with the issue of middlemen, the price will come down. We came here and legislated towards that. Now, as we await for the price of fuel to come down, we are slapping voters with a tax. So where is the genuineness of the issue? Either we do not believe that the price of fuel will come down as a result of government becoming the sole importer on behalf of Ugandans. So if we all believe that the price of fuel will come down as a result of government being the sole importer of fuel on behalf of Ugandans, then there is no reason for slapping this price on fuel, because we shall save and use that other money for something else. But if we are genuine to Ugandans that, listen, this will happen, can we give Ugandans a commitment that all the money that we want to increase on the fuel levy will be directed to a fund that shall not be subject to these other hands, And you know what I'm talking about? That we come here and pick the money from the fuel levy and put it directly to other priorities. Right Honorable Speaker, I understand what, because, Right Honorable Speaker, I want to implore this House. The Minister of Works both the senior minister and the junior minister were here saying, please give us more funds to do your roads. And we categorically asked from where. Now this is what they are presenting. But there is no proof that this money that we are going to add on the tax of fuel will be directly channeled to fund construction of roads. Day after day, we'll be back here borrowing. So Ugandans are not saying we are not willing to pay, but they are only saying we cannot pay this money and enjoy potholes as others are using it for lavish activities.
Thank you. Search.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
After
Thank you
Search-
very much.
After search, then.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, it is an agreed fact, the issue of kerosene, since it affects a local person down there, and since we removed the REA, and REA has failed, electricity has failed to reach to the villages, we are removing kerosene. It affects the local person who cannot afford to fuel a car, who cannot afford to do anything. Yes.
Right Honorable Speaker, I want to start from a slightly different perspective. The impression being created, as I was seated, is that there is the proposal to delete the tax, and there is the proposal to impose the tax. But what I want to put across is that already there is a tax. There is a tax, members. This is not to say that there is no tax. Because for instance,
Searching. There is a tax. What they are what they want to do is to make an increment.
that's why I'm coming. You see, Right Honorable Speaker, you have to carry members with you. And I'm building my case to that effect. As we stand now, there is a tax of 1,450 on petrol and 1,130 on diesel, meaning that already there is tax. So what the proposal here is aiming at is to add on the tax so that now petrol, we can have 1,550. And for diesel, it can rise to 1,230. And to me, actually 1,450. To me, honorable members, we have to go by the canons of taxation. And that's why I differ a bit. People are not saying they don't want to pay the tax, yes, but tax has to have a limit. And the more tax you impose, it has a negative effect. Because this addition you are making and you are imposing has...
Actually, what Search is saying, the addition, when you look at kerosene and petrol and diesel, the increase is 100. But now when you look at the issue of kerosene, where there are so many people using kerosene down there in the villages, you're increasing it by 300 shillings. What mathematics was that? What was the basis of that increment?
Honorable Speaker, and I'm challenging the economists of this country. The tax you impose, you may have two principles, efficiency and effectiveness. The tax you impose must be effective and must be efficient. But what we have now, the burden shall be borne by the common person down on the ground. If you are talking about farmers, if you are talking about people from Chikubo, once you hike the price of fuel, it means the transport costs will correspondingly increase. It will mean that the bunch of banana the price will increase, will correspondingly increase. And that is not for the person who is a farmer down, but to the middlemen, because they want to cushion the cost of fuel. So to that extent, I'm telling you, the more you increase the tax, is the less demand you'll be creating. Because ultimately, this is having a multiplier effect across the economy. From the transport, from the produce, from the commercial entities in this country. Even those selling cattle, once a cost of each cow to be brought to the roofler here, and you touch on fuel, the transporters will extend the same to the person down there. Because vehicles have to move at the end of the day. We don't have the train transport. It means at this stage, Right Honorable Speaker, and I would implore government, why don't we maintain the price as it is? It is already heavy. Businesses are closing. And the moment you touch on the operational cost, because fuel is in the operations, goods are not consumed at the place of production. They are transported. Inputs are transported.
Please conclude.
Inputs are transported. Even the final products are being transported. So, Right Honorable Speaker and members, I would urge government, and I would like to tell them that the tax, the way it is already too much. I know my people from Remiaga, some forego even coming to Kampala on very critical issues because they cannot afford transport to and fro. And now that we officially increase fuel, I'm telling you the taxes and buses are going to officially increase the transport fares and charges. And this is very negative on our communities. Let's remain with the tax the way it is. We can do something else, but not at this point in time when business is so bad and the economy is not doing well.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, it is our duty to advocate for our people on matters taxation. It is also our duty as members of parliament to also help government raise money for the effective running of this country. Madam Speaker, I have been contemplating and thinking deeply whenever we have discussions on taxes. There is a very critical subject in this country that we do not want as politicians and leaders in this country to talk about. There is a question of a very huge wage bill in this country, and it eats much on our taxes. Madam Speaker, when you look at the wage bill in this country, I think it is time that this House and government we start having a very honest and very serious debate on matters wage bill in this country. Because a wage bill in this country, Madam Speaker, has an impact on tax, has an impact on debts in this country. And Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable
Wakoli
yes,
from
please.
Butiru.
Yes, Madam.
Are you defending the issue of the taxes or you are?
Yes. Yes, but reasonable taxes for our people.
What is your suggestion? What is your suggestion?
The honorable member here was looking for proposals of how we can raise taxes. And it is in my considered opinion that if we also discuss, we have a discussion around the wage bill in this country, because a wage bill, Madam Speaker, in this country has the first call on our consolidated. So we are saying that
you're now on policy matters. We're in the yes, it is now actions. Honorable.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable colleagues, what is very apparent is the fact that
honorable members, listen.
Honorable colleagues, what is very apparent is the fact that over time, the trends are changing. If Uganda was 3 million, we have moved to the numbers that we have now to almost 50 something. In terms of population, yes, we have not done the census, but we are more than 40. The needs of our country at the time, perhaps we enacted the laws on the relevant tax, were very different. But over a period of time, it has become very necessary for us to be able to raise money that can be able to sustain our economy and be able to help our population. I want to go with the suggestion that my colleague, Honorable Mohammed from Kampala suggested. You see, we are having this increment go on the fuel, diesel, and the petroleum, petrol. But the suggestion he brought that the impact that our voters want to feel is that we should be able to ring fence and put this in our infrastructure. That's a positive suggestion for me. I would suggest the increment of this tax, but let it be going towards having that deliverable. Let Ugandans feel that we have covered, the tax has been increased, but it is addressing the issue of their roads complete. Yes, which should be very, very clear here. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I want to seek your, let government be very true to its words that this money, the increment we're having on petroleum and diesel, is going to help us to improve and be ring-fenced towards the roads. But the tax is not, but thank you.
No. Nathan,
Madam Speaker,
so you're using a proxy.
no, Madam Chair. No, I was waiting, and I'm very good. I'm a very patient person. Madam Chair, as the Honorable Sek said, it is not necessary that every now and then we should raise taxes so that we generate more. You can spur the economy and have more taxes. For example, let me give the demonstration of matoke. If I sell my matoke at 30,000 and I sell 10 bunches, I will get 300,000. It means I'll have more disposable income to spend. I will buy sugar, I'll buy soap, I'll buy alcohol, and all these are avoided taxes. And before I go to that, because they are under fear, you're right. And Madam Chair, even if you are talking of the villager, even if he doesn't come to town, the sugar he's going to drink is being transported. Therefore, he will pay the 100 shilling, which is being added or not on fuel. I want to plead with the government that why don't we make a trial? For the first time, we say we're not going to increase taxes on fuel. Yes. And see what will happen. I can tell you, the country will not collapse and there will be more income to tax because the transport costs will be lower and the people will be having disposable income to be able to spend on goods which already have indirect taxes like VAT.
Because just the trickle down effect.
Exactly.
There's information here, yes.
Maybe just to inform you that the last time from my research, the last time taxes were increased on fuel was in 2021. So it's not correct to say that every year taxes are increased on fuel. So the rates we are using are 2021, just for your information.
Madam Speaker, I know my attorney
It is
I said, and
honorable members,
not every time.
honorable members,
Every year. I said
honorable
every-
members, the last time it was increased by 100 shillings. That was in the financial year 2021, 2022.
Madam Chair, I love you for that because my Attorney General, when he mentioned 2021, he was trying to mean that it was 2020, 2021, and was changing the rule. So Attorney General, so I went to plead, Attorney General. I never said every year, I said every time. And every time can be even 2 years, whatever. Madam Chair, I want to make a proposal here. And I want also to agree with my brother Karim. Because J1 is used by Jet. Jet is used by, he never mentioned, I think when he meant 8F, it was meaning these local ones, which go to Kisoro, go to Arua. Because this one, if you don't also increase, it means for them, those who use planes will not pay taxes on fuel, yet they're also traveling. And that's what was his argument, which I wanted to make clear. But on the international flights, they are at nil. Because if we try to do international flights, we'll be making it dangerous. Madam Chair, I want to make a proposal that
I've seen my chair, finance, looking at me. Right, Honorable Speaker, when you look at the Principal Act, they are different. The jet engine, the jet oils, the petroleum used by those foreign flights and the ones used locally are different. And the amendment I suggested was for those that are importing into the country to be used locally. When you look at the international ones like Emirates and all that, they're all exempted. They're actually supposed to be at nil. So my proposal is that we look at increasing the one that is used locally. We are seeing people using these local planes to go to properties. So I think we need to target that fuel that is imported into the country to be used locally because the foreigners are exempted. So instead of us looking at putting that burden to our people who are using motor vehicles.
You know, I wanted to make a proposal because we're not looking bad. 100 shillings is a lot of money. Supposing we put 10 shillings, Attorney General, because you want some increments, supposing we put 10 shillings instead of going to 100. What was the formula of 100? You see, what if you want some increment? Supposing we look at 10 shillings to maximum 50 shillings. And this will be a win-win situation. The second one, Madam Chair, the withdrawal charges of 0.5 on money.
There's a
Madam Speaker, for the time I've been here, I have been hearing members saying that you are not supposed to discuss a matter when you are a member of the committee. I am seeing Honorable is coming on the floor and Honorable Masaba, and yet they are members of the Finance Committee, which discussed these taxes.
honorable members, we are at committee stage, committee of the whole house. So there is no problem. Even when you're a member, you can discuss. So there's no problem with that.
Speaker, that's why I always plead with you for induction, more induction for. So, Madam Speaker, I have one of the reasons we have raised already.
Give us a solution. Can we people move?
Yeah, we're moving. That's why we have.
You'll sleep here.
So, Madam Speaker, Chair, I wanted to say on this one, I wanted to ask the government to show you that we are happy to have you increase, but not go high. Let us say we add maybe between 10 to 50 shillings on this. Madam Speaker, I want also to make one proposal. On when you talk about this service of withdrawals, I met my brother Musasa was trying to convince me, but who are the main users of services? You members of parliament, you send money to your voters. You have sent 1 million. There will be a charge of 5%, 0.5. And what will happen? The man, instead of getting 1 million plus other charges, to your voters, to go and pay burials, to go and for weddings and whatever, it will be charging you instead of 1 million, it will end up to be 900,000. It is you to pay. Also, when you send to your mother or your grandmother, that's what will be withdrawing. Madam Chair, in professional services, let me give an example of a valuer. The valuer, when it comes to charge, they charge 0.025% of the value. But this one of 0.5% is on a very high side. Already you are paying the charge for transfer, which is also subject to tax withholding excise duty, you are aware, and with VAT. I would also make a proposal that instead of 0.05%, Madam Speaker, instead of 0.5%, I want us to make a proposal that we make it 0.025% as the valuers do it. Madam Chair.
That is on which one? On mobile money?
On mobile money. The reason is simply.
Mobile money is not in equation.
No, not by mobile money, the 0.05% charge.
There is 0.5% charge on the value of the transaction.
Yes.
That is not in equation.
No, we have a minority report.
Get information from your chair.
No, I know my senior has this information, but I'm just reminding him that the 0.5% on mobile money withdrawal is not an issue here, but rather we are talking about agency banking withdrawal services. Okay. Now, what we are trying to do is that we bring parity, because same tax rule, you know, like you say, same service, same rule. You realize, honorable colleagues, that agency banking agents do the same service for Airtel and MTN Momo withdrawals. So this, to bring parity in the economy, we propose that the 0.5% that is applicable for the mobile money be applied on agency money bank withdrawal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let him qualify what is being said.
I think, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, today there is a charge of 0.5% on withdrawal of money, cash, on mobile money. The purpose of this is to level the transactions between financial institutions and mobile money. Secondly, if you're transferring money electronically from one person to another, so for example, if Honorable Nandala sent money to the agent and asked the agent to put it on the mother's phone, that will not attract a charge. Just to clarify.
Thank you, Chair. Why, what the Attorney General has said is right. What the Attorney General has said is right. Yes, there is a 0.5 charge on mobile money, which has been existing and it's not part of the amendment. So
Withdraw.
Yes, on withdraw of the charge. Withdraw of cash, yes, I'm aware, and then there is 15% on the charge in the Principal Act. So I am well aware of that. The argument is these people who are doing agency banking, they have phones that they use for mobile money, and then they have machines that they use to withdraw from accounts, because those are transaction accounts from banks. It's as if I've gone to an ATM and withdrawn. So there is no 0.5 charge when I withdraw from my account using an ATM. But what you want to introduce is when you're withdrawing, this agency banking who is using, because they use machines owned by the banks. Yes, so you want to charge me if I'm withdrawing via an agency banking, and then when I withdraw via the ATM, I'm not incurring this cost. I think that is where the argument should be.
You see, I just want to make a clarification, my senior. The clarification is that agency banking agent is not the same as a teller in a banking hall. That's the only difference. And yes.
Madam Chair, I want to tell you today that agent banking is an agent of the bank.
Yes, yes.
And what happens is you will never draw money at the agent when you don't have money on your account. What happened, the agent, the moment I go there, I want to withdraw 1 million, he will first confirm, they have a mechanism to confirm that money is on my what? My account. If I don't have the 1 million, I will not be paid the what? The money. Let us not confuse mobile movement of money from my mobile to another one and the money from the bank account to me. So, Madam Chair, we must be careful.
The clarification I just want to get from you and from the proposers of the law. The agent has a principal, which is the bank. When I am withdrawing money directly from the principal, I do not pay tax. So why should I pay tax when I'm withdrawing from the agent of the principal?
And you have asked a good question. The agent, mobile bank, you asked me and you, and I'm coming to you. The agent, I will give let us demonstrate. Amos, our chair of finance, is the agent of Centenary Bank. He has been authorized to receive money and pay money. I go there, I want to draw 1 million. Amos will only give me money if he has confirmed money is on my what? Account. And the moment Amos give me 1 million, it will charge my account immediately in the what? In the bank. Immediately it will charge. I pick my 1 million, I put in the what? In the bank. If I went to the center, it will be the same. I'll just put in my ATM, I get my 1 million, and it will be not only the charge I may have is the ATM what? Charge. And that's where we're saying, where the agent is involved on money related to the bank, there is no way. Okay.
Honorable members,
Thank you for
honorable
allowing your
members,
information.
honorable members, when you look at the payment system, to answer what Honorable Nwagaba was saying, payment services of withdrawals of cash provided through payment system including withdrawal services provided by financial institutions or microfinance deposit institutions. That would be the answer to what Wilfred is saying. But now you're saying, but does not include. That was amended.
Yeah, it was amended during presentation, Right Honorable Speaker.
How would it look like?
Does include, not does not. But I just wanted to
Is
make
it
one-
in the committee's amendment?
Yes.
What does it say? Read your amendment.
Right Honorable Speaker, the amendment is to introduce, and I remember, Right Honorable Speaker, when I read this, I even repeated myself for clarity.
Was in the report, but not in the amendment at committee stage.
Just
Right,
one
Honorable-
minute, one minute.
Maybe let me-
Madam Chair,
Let me inform.
if you remove this
Can,
now. No, if
can
you-
Attorney General inform?
No, it's coming, Madam. I'm not-
Please.
No, just small for it. If the committee now, for purposes of say that deletes this, it means now when I go to the counter to withdraw money, I will be subjected to 0.5% of the value. No, you
No.
remove. You see, check. Yeah, it says
Wait, you first
payment
wait and
service of
get,
withdrawals of cash provided through a payment system. A payment system means even at the counter is a payment what? System. Now, when you delete this, I go there to draw 10 million, I'll be subjected to 0.5% of the value. It's here.
you first,
If you
you,
leave it like this, better. Yes, you leave it like.
yes,
Honorable colleagues, the matters dealing with the financial institutions, the banks, are in 14 of the Principal Act, not in the amendment. 14. Ledger fees, ATM, withdrawal fees, and periodic charges, and other transaction and non-transaction charges, excluding loan-related charges periodically charged by financial institution, is 15% of the fees charged. It's already there. No, we are saying that for the members were saying, let's add the banks. And I'm saying no. The banks are already being charged under 14. We are now saying, yes, listen to me. The banks are already being charged under 14. Mobile money is being charged under 13. But agencies are currently not charged. So while
Chair. Chair,
Honorable Masaba.
thank you very much, Chair. The Attorney General, what the Attorney General is saying, actually, the Attorney General is misinforming this House. When you look at 14, they're charging 15% on the fees, Still, when you go to 13D, I don't know if you look 13D, it's also 15% on the fees. Still, they are charging 15% on mobile transactions, 15% on the fee that the bank charges, and the fee that the mobile money company, MTN, what charges you. That is the percentage. Now, the amendment is introducing a 0.5, a fee on the amount that you withdraw. That you withdraw with cash from the agency banking. So unless, if the Attorney General is saying, we amend Section 14 as well to include, which they are refusing, obviously. So then let us leave the way it is, because now we are introducing another fee on people who are withdrawing from agency. Because if I'm operating an agency banker, a management banker, I will have my mobile phones that I use for mobile money transactions, and it is charged automatically.
Just take my clarification. AG, Madam Chair, this is a legal clarification. Honorable Attorney General, I want us to refer, Madam Chair, just Honorable Musasizi, and thank you, Madam Chair and honorable colleagues. Now, the matter creating confusion here is the two services. The justification is that there is one running mobile money and another one running agency banking.
Now
let's go.
agency banking is run by microfinance institutions and banks. Then Money Mobile is run by MTN and Airtel. So each of them has a principal.
That's where I want to go. That is where I want to go. And now the issue here is that one is regulated under the Financial Payment Services Act. And the other one, I'm building the point.
You should also remember that Airtel and MTN, they were also split. There's a company that deals with mobile money transactions, and the one that deals with telecommunication. So it's still, it goes into what
MTN, whether it's split or not. What made it to continue?
Okay, thank you. What was split is the license. One license is for the carrier, the operator of voice and data, and the other one is for the operation of financial services. Now, coming back to the, just a second, mobile money, who are agent bankers. Agent bankers, in principle, are only performing a duty for and on behalf of a financial institution called a bank. And the duty they are performing is that where you cannot reach, or at times you cannot work, then I step in for you, and I pick up these funds, I deposit them. On depositing them, I have a charge from the bank. But also on picking them, you want to slap another 0.5%. Now, let's look at what would be detrimental by introducing this tax. One, if I had 4 outposts, maybe I had one in Morolinga, where there is no brick and mortar bank, then I say, since the services are very expensive, let me retreat to the town. Now, I deny those ones in Morolinga financial inclusion. The issue is not how much we shall collect. The issue is how much shall we fail to do the banking. Right, Honorable Attorney General, what we ought to see that mobile agency bankers are only helping you to extend banking services where brick and mortar banks necessarily cannot reach. So by slapping this tax, it means you're reducing on their income directly. So it becomes detrimental. If it becomes detrimental to my income, therefore I reduce the number of posts in mobile agency banking that I use. At the end of the day, people will keep money in houses. They will not be captured in the digital financial inclusion services. And the answer is zero. That's why I wanted us to draw a distinction that MTN, as a mobile money receiver, does not do necessarily banking services.
It only receives and helps you. What this one does is I receive where you can't reach, I relay, but I'm already charged for this deposit. When the customer deposits this money, the deposit charge is already taken. So if you include 0.5%, it will also be translated to the customer again.
Honorable members, I want to understand this from the chair. In my thinking, we are trying to increase the tax base. And increasing the tax base, we are bringing the cheaper cash, we are bringing in the mango, the fintechs. Are those the kind of things we are bringing? But insulating commercial and microfinance deposit-taking institutions, is that what you bring?
Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Chair, that is very true and you're correct. And if you wish, I may read even the detail of how the report was done. The committee observed that the proposal to amend is intended to provide for an equal tax treatment to that of mobile money for payment services that offer similar services to mobile money. These payment services include cheaper cash, waiver transfer, among others. And at present, the withdrawal from these services are not subject to the same excise duty as that levied on mobile money.
With the exception of financial institutions and microfinance deposit-taking institutions. It is what we want.
Right Honorable Speaker, you are very right. An agent banker is not
You see, the rules are very clear. You seek information from someone holding the floor. You jumped saying a clarification. You want it from who?
Thank you, Right Honorable Semuji. I was informing.
Honorable members, I think there's only one person who has understood this. That is you first. No, you first wait. Karim, you first. You know what you brought? Agent banking. You cannot go and charge agent banker. Like a bank. You can't. What we are saying, all other services that operate like money mobile, like cheaper cash, like mango, like fintechs, those are the ones that should be brought together to harmonize to be like mobile money. Oh, they are not.
Chair. Chair.
Yes.
Yes. Chair, thank you very much, Chair.
Embeera bwetyo buli mu parliament kuyisa musolo buli kadde kuongeza musolo buli kadde mbu tebalina nsimbi zikola mirimu n'olwekyo mbu mubanja enguudo ezitali mu binnya mubanja amasomero n'amalwaliro ate mbu temwagala kuwa musolo mukatika wabongeza omusolo bakolera ebyo mwagala wabula wulire nga baka bakyankalana bagamba banagala tebanagana kuwa musolo wabula ensonga enkulu omusolo gwe tuwa gukola ki mu omusolo mu kitwagwandikoze enguudo nezinyirira abasajja bagugenda mu kukola party birthday party abasajja bazikolamu nga donations enguudo nesigala nga zirimu ebinnya amasomero nga mabi mazibu amalwaliro nga temuli ddagala awo nno n'osoberwa naye bwetyo ebitambudde bayisiza gwanywa otuza umira tu mineral water tugenda kweyongera akabeeyi gwa ina akamotoka mafuta agenda kulinnya ina kutandika kuteka mu lita ezibadde esatu wanateka mu ali eyo nga obadde munaye weeyagala ng'okimanyi byokola bibadde bikunyumira kati nno bigenda kutandika okukusaawalira okukaayira kyeŋŋamba kubanga omusolo kati gulinnye tibikyali ya muzannyo mbadde mu birowooza abasajja mbu baagala ssente kale byebyo tujja kuba tuddamu mwenna abaliko mwebali kubaako Donald Rwanda Mugereka Kitaffe Nsaba Kuume banange mweraba.